Today, we're building an AI email reply agent. And why do we need this? We just need to eliminate all customer service emails to make our life easier. Save probably 2 to 3 hours per week, depending on how many emails you get. I own a small business, e-commerce, and I get a lot of emails that are quite simple. How can I automate this process and make my life a little bit simpler using AI? We're building the AI email reply agent using N8N, and I'm an absolute beginner in this. I want to build AI automations, and I want to share along the way what I've learned. So let's get started with N8, and let's build this agent that will save us some time, and we can continue building more agents and create an army of digital workers. How does this sound? Here's a quick demo of how this automation works. First, this is a very simple one. This is my first build, so I just want to start simple. As I'm learning, we're all going to learn together. It is built in Gmail. So first we receive the Gmail trigger. From here, it goes to the node that is text classifier, where it actually classifies the, oh, something went wrong. We'll figure out. In the text classifier node, actually labels what type of email we're receiving. Each business, each operations will have different types of email. In my case, I have a Shopify e-commerce store where I have clients asking questions. So I have customer service. Then I have orders and transaction, promotions, and spam. We can add as many labels as you have. Typically, I always clear all these orders, transaction, promotions, and spam emails. I delete them. That's why here I just mark them as red. So if it is labeled orders, transaction, it is marked as red, and promotion as red, and spam as red, because I don't want to keep going back to my inbox and cleaning up emails. But the most important part of this automation is your customer service flow right here on the top, where from customer service question, when you receive the message, it goes to a document. This is pretty much where your FAQs sit. So you need to create an FAQ or knowledge-based document that connects to this node. And from here, the OpenAI model picks up the message with the correct prompt, can format the customer response, and then creates a draft. After the draft is created, you go into your box, review the draft, and send it. I would suggest first review all the drafts before you send to see if everything is working correctly, or have your PA reviewing the drafts. I would not trust it for right now to send the draft without a review. Let's start building this workflow. First, let's set the trigger. The trigger I'm using is Gmail. So you're going to click add first step. Just type in Gmail, and you're going to add on message received. And then from here, you're going to set up your Gmail node. You will need to connect your Gmail account. Mine is already connected, and I'll show in a second how to do this. But once you connect the account, it will show up here in the drop-down menu. The mode is every minute. Message received. You're going to turn off simplify. You're going to add a filter, label names. You're going to add unread. And you're going to fetch test event. And it's all working correctly. So far, so good. So let's close this, go back to the canvas. Once you see that this node gives you a little bit of data right here, you don't need to understand anything. Just go ahead and pin it. This data is pinned for test execution. Next step, the text classifier node. And what it does is basically reads the emails and chooses a certain path for each email. So if it's, say, promotions, it will go down to the label promotions. So let's add a text classifier node. So here in the text classifier, when I originally set it up, it was just a JSON text file. But then all of a sudden I noticed that it stopped working. As you can see here, my email agent, if I run this node now, it gives me a like text to classify for item 0 is not defined. So basically, the Gmail, it tells me that the Gmail trigger or Gmail sorts the emails in different ways. And so right now, I can't use the text classifier. So the easiest solution I found is just go to ChatGPT and ask, what can you use? And I just did. And it gave me this code here where I can pretty much combine. So it says why this happens, right? Different senders emails include plain text. So I just copy and paste this into my workflow here. And let's see if this is going to work. Okay. Here in the categories, you have to add your individual categories one by one. You add your own, but just to show you for the categories. Here mine is customer service, then orders, transaction, promotional marketing, and spam irrelevant. And then you can do maybe sales, or sell emails, or whatever your messages are in your inbox. So let's add the categories and we'll move to the next, creating the labels. For each category, I have the name and the description for the category. And if you don't want to write the descriptions, you can just ask ChatGPT and you just place the description here and this will set your text classifier. Now we have all the categories and descriptions. And before we test this step, we need to add our AI model. So from here, we're just going to add AI model. I'll use OpenAI. I'll just right here, credential to connect. You will have to create your own credential if you don't have any. But I chose the 401 mini and I have connected my OpenAI API account. And let's see if this is working correctly here. So we connected our chat model and let's execute the step and see if this is working. Yeah, not executed successfully. It's time to create the label. And from here, we're just going to add the labels. You can create your own labels in Gmail. I already done this. Actually, if you can see here, I do have some labels created. You can do your own labels. And from here, you're going to add a note, Gmail, and then add label to a message. You're gonna do Gmail account connected, right? Message, add label, then here the message ID, just drag your ID here, the message, and then here, I'll call this customer service. Okay, and let's execute the step and see what's gonna happen. Not executed success. After you create this label, I can just copy and paste this node and just change the name and whatever label you have set up, change the names. So in my case, I have only 4 labels set. As you can see here, customer service, then you can just connect them. And in my case, orders, promotions, and spam. What I want to do just to have a cleaner inbox is I created automation here to mark orders as read. So if you can see when I open this step is very easy to be created. Let's delete this and I'll show you Gmail. Again, just Gmail. And then you're going to create a node that it says mark as read. A message is read. Let's execute the step and not executed successfully. Back to Canvas. And what you need to do is just copy and paste and do the same for any emails that you want to be marked as read. My most important was this workflow right here on the top. So what I've done here this node, you just get a document from Google. You just connect your Google Docs account, and you will need to have this document set up beforehand. I do have my document with FAQs and knowledge base. That's how I connected this document. Once you get this node going, you connect this node to your AI. Basically, you need a good prompt for the AI. And here's the prompt that I have. You're a customer service agent and I'll share the prompt. You can just change for your company wherever you need done. And here you also connect your OpenAI account. I'm using again the 4.1 mini. And next node would be the format customer response. This step basically cleans up your response. And the next step is to create a draft. But when you receive the email, then it goes to AI. And then AI answers the email using your knowledge base. And then this node, this function actually crafts the email in a certain way. How do you want the email to be? Including your signature, how the email is actually structured. So this code here is basically how my emails, I want them structured for my customer service. You will need to create your own email structure for the way you like it to be, including your email signature, etc. I actually did have a little bit harder time setting up this node, but the best thing to do is if you get a hiccup somewhere, just ask OpenAI or just ask the AI here, and I'm sure you'll figure out pretty easy. So after the formal customer response is done, then it creates a draft. And this draft is then reviewed by you, by a human, and then sent to the customer. This is a very simple workflow. So much more can be added. For example, if your e-commerce is in Shopify, then you can connect via Shopify API. Or you might want to add a Slack notification when a draft order is done, or if you have a sales opportunity, you might want to add as well a Slack notification. This way you're notified immediately so you can take an action step and go do your business. I love how this AI email agent works for me. I hope this video was helpful. I want to give credits to Nolan, who actually, I watched his video on YouTube and he built an AI inbox manager. I'll share the link below if you're interested. And for now, I will also share this workflow so you can copy and paste. You just need to add your own credential. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Let's build this AI agent army together.